Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? I had so many plans for today's episode, but unfortunately, we have to scrap most of them. Every once in a while, we have to have an episode where we do random garbage, meaning that we're going to improve the processes that exist, fix some of the items that don't work, and complete some of the buildings. Or make new ones. It's called random garbage, so I have no idea what we're going to do. But I do know where to begin. Ore processing. I think it was the last episode where I mentioned something about manganese, and yeah, we need to get it a bit more. I just went through like 2000 of it. Therefore, I had to make a few adjustments over here. First off, we're exporting raw iron ore into the centrifuges, we're getting iron dust and manganese crushed dust. We take the crushed manganese, we wash it with sulfuric acid, we will get manganese sulfuric solution, which gives us manganese. And it also gives us our sulfuric acid back minus 10%. The problem is we're out of sulfuric acid, because the machines don't really work at the same speed and they also lose their efficiency. It's a very weird requirement. You cannot run a machine constantly. You can't. But anyways, we also have two macerators which are processing salt for us because it just gives us a better yield. Later on, we're also going to use it for mozonite. Another very small thing that we have to do is regarding lignite. We're also going to macerate that, I suppose. I just set this up and I forgot how it works. You go there. Yes, because as a byproduct, we sometimes get sulfur. And we also need sulfur in order to make sulfuric acid, so another source is always good. Okay, so the goal is not really to finish everything with high details, it's just to have a general shape so that I know where everything goes. For example, I actually had to move the quarries. And yes, we have a third one. And this one is for stainless steel drills for the moment because I need some mozonite. And I'm assuming that's something that we're getting? Yeah, very slowly. I don't care about titanium. Do I care about titanium? Can you make me 2000 dust? Yes. Oh, bauxite. Okay, then we don't care. So this takes care of some of the mistakes that I have done with ore processing. Now we should be able to move along. After I have set the filters for mozonite. Perfect. It gives us a far better rate, that's it. Far better rate? I should have probably done that much earlier. Anyways, moving on, let's get to assemblers. I do have a teeny tiny bit of a problem on how they work, and even though some of you guys have been trying to explain it to me, I still don't get it. For some recipes, yes, I do understand, and this is why I'm going to use it, but for example, if I want to make a cadmium battery, this recipe takes 10 seconds. Same material over here in a crafting grid, gives it to you in 0.1 seconds. So for some recipes, I still don't get it. But we need to expand our base, and I was thinking we move to the mountains. Because eventually I want to move here anyways, and I just lost my elevator hole. It's this one. So we are at Y level 80, and we just dig 8 more blocks. Yep, I want to be able to have a very small basement. Not like that. Like this. Yes, with a nice window. Did you have any idea there is a hammer in this mod pack? Nobody ever told me. So here is a diamond one. Thank you, and I guess we just upgrade it to netherite. It's nice to be able to harvest a 3x3 area without thinking about configurations. Oh, you're slow. On breaking, efficiency 4, and I have another efficiency 4. Do you know the best method of enchantments? You put your item in, you put one enchantment book in, and then you add the other enchantment. And yes, I do understand this is the worst way of doing it, but did you know that's actually how people bait for comments? Because when we hear something wrong, we have to correct it. Or even the title of today's video, which is wrong, and I just wanted to know who's going to fall for it. Yeah, I know the title isn't wrong, but I'm a jerk. What can you do? I'm sorry. I'm hoping that you guys remember how the elevator from mine cells works because it looks amazing and we're gonna use that. But if you don't, you just need 2 chains, 2 of the elevator assemblers, and you just place it on the floors that you want. So if we want to go up, you should take us to this floor. Yes, it even makes dust. Much better than these stupid elevators. What is this one? It teleports you, okay. This is more fun. However, the first floor should have been a bit higher. This is why I made so many of them, because it's a bit hard to place. Lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our very garbage hole, the new hall of machines. First things first, we are primarily going to automate the machines, which are going to help us make more machines. We're just gonna have a bunch of assemblers. That's probably an overkill for the moment, but it's fine. I had to sneeze. Okay. My cat was sitting on my keyboard and I think his hair went in my nose. So the first use of assemblers is going to be gears for us. This is the recipe that I'm currently using in order to make a bronze gear, for example. The actual way that I'm getting bronze gear is that I'm just buying it, but this is the main recipe that we're looking for. Yes, it's missing the bolts, but it gives you 2 gears. It's the same for every single gear. But you might notice that we need something called soldering alloy, which is not a very complicated recipe, it's just that we need an extra blast furnace. Which for some reason I thought I have one, but we don't. We steal the one from the basement? Oh, and by the way, I finally used one of these big torches. I thought the texture is going to look horrifying, this is why I was not using them, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's really bad, but I'm just hiding it. So do we have any patterns here? Candle. I don't think it really matters, we can just put the candle recipe here as well. You know, in our blast furnace area. And I guess we don't really have to move this blast furnace because we can use it for a few garbage stuff. We just convert this fluid input into an output. We don't need to have an ender chest. The only thing that we have to do is to import the fluid. I just set the pattern. Can you make me, I don't know, 100 buckets of soldering alloy? Oh, it's making all the dusts first. Okay. Maybe just make me 10 buckets. It's faster. It's a teeny tiny bit slow, but what can you do? This time, just to be able to save on channels as well as some processing power, what we're going to do is that we're going to hook it up to tanks. Meaning that we have an error, too many channels. What? I haven't connected you yet, you stupid idiot. Anyways, I just wanted to say that we're going to have a basic tank, an export bus, a crafting cart, and we export soldering alloy into this tank. It's not going in because it's not connected, which is super easy to do. We just need a P2P tunnel, a cable, the stupid cart that I can never find. Voila. Are we good? Everybody fine? Yes. And we are getting soldering alloy. That is perfect. In order to give them soldering alloy, I don't really think we need to have some sort of a servo. You should be able to output automatically, right? Auto output. Well, it's not going in. Yes, now it's going in. You do need a servo. Now, if we want to make the pattern for the gears, we can just remove the soldering alloy because it's being automatically pumped in. I think what I should do is that I should do the same thing for steam. Yes, exactly. That should be much cheaper. Yes. Everybody's getting steam. If I order some steel gear, this should be relatively faster. Why do you need... Oh, lubricant. Okay. We will fix that too, don't you worry. And you came to the only person who doesn't have the soldering alloy. You know, I called this a garbage episode, but it has been a few hours later. The thing is, I have already fixed the gear system. Each one of these assemblers that you see over here, which I think comes up to here? No. Here? Yes. All of these assemblers are making us gears. The compressors that we have over here are making us different rings. And now I have started optimizing the circuit. So we have the resistors, the capacitors, and the coil. Not coil, inductor. Basically what we are trying to do is that we are trying to optimize different processes and consume less resources. That's it. And in order to do that, we need 2 more machines for different types of silicon. Honestly speaking, I don't think this part is worth it, but I'm going to make it anyways. Because here's the thing, in order to make a transistor, you can use this recipe. It gives you only 2 transistors. If you use this recipe, you get 4. The problem is that it takes 20 seconds to convert a silicon plate into this kind of silicon plate. So I thought we were going to have 2 more chemical reactors dedicated to silicon. We have space, who cares? So that should take care of everything. Also, since the silicon takes a very long time, I have already made a requester terminal from Applied Energistics. Apparently it also requires an ME requester. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea how it works. So for now, we put you over there. And if I ask for a few pieces of silicon, I just want to have like 100 of them at each time, maybe 1,000. So how do we do that? We want that, and we want 1,000 of it. That works, right? Oh, yellow means that the system is crafting it. That's a neat system. I like that. Oh, and you can change the batch size. Oh, come on, stop. So we want 1,000 of it, and we want you to craft 100 each time. That seems fair? Yes. Now it's much better. It's making 100. So now if I want to craft circuits, we should have all the material at hand. And just to increase our production a bit further, we're going to have 8 wire mills. I do make a lot of wires. It's getting out of hand. Now we have a total of 9 of them. And I think the one that I already had was full. Yeah. Now we just divide it. So just out of curiosity, if I want to make 1,000 aluminium drill, well, first off, it's amazing because we can do that. But I think for the moment I'm going to wait because we don't have the silicon yet. We just started auto crafting, so we don't have that much. Oh, these are very slow. Okay, I'll wait. So I just had a thought which could be a bit stupid, but let us see if it works. Let us order 6 more chemical reactors and see if it's any faster. Seems faster. I wouldn't know. But more and more machines are lighting up, so I'm guessing it's faster now. Yeah, it takes ages for things to get prepared. But basically what I want to know is that can we have an interface here? Ask it to export aluminium, well maybe 64 aluminium, some antimony as well as some silicon. Then export them into 8 chemical reactors, 4 of them for N-doped silicon and the other one for the P-doped silicon. It takes time and I don't really want to wait that long. I mean, that is basically the job of the interface. Provide items. Also, the interface should know to craft the items, so here is a crafting cart. Yes, we got the antimony. And now we should be able to just extract it. Yes, they're moving at a very garbage speed, but I did install some upgrades. Uh-oh, we should have locked the recipe. I mean, I should have locked the recipe. Yeah, the filtering is a bit painful and apparently a bit glitchy, but it does work. Although it's very disproportionate, we're getting the silicon. One thing that I have just realized is that you can also upgrade the machines to high voltage. You just give it a machine hold, and apparently you changed the turbine? Oh wow. It's way faster. I know it finished, but it was way faster. Maybe I should start doing that with a few of the machines, especially this one which makes us the circuit. You're the one next to the red, so something like this should work. Every machine that I touch instantly finishes everything. Come on, make me something I want to watch. It's decent. I actually didn't know how it works because if you hover over here, it's telling you that change the casing to connect higher tier of cables. And if you look at what you actually have to put in, it's actually called a machine hall. Not a casing. But I'm incredibly happy because now we have a higher production capability. So I have just crashed 5 times in the last half an hour and I don't know what's causing it. I think it's either the request table from Applied Energistics or the fact that Applied Energistics has some problems crafting fluids from modern industrialization. That was my understanding of the crash log, but I have removed the request table and I have stopped making fluids. If it's the request table, we're already good because I removed it. But if it's the fluids, which I think it is, we have to do a few adjustments. Applied Energistics probably shouldn't know how to craft the fluids, so it just should have the fluids. For example, some of the gases that we're going to need are going to be oxygen and hydrogen. There is not going to be a recipe for it, just a few electrolyzers. Or for example, we need to make more efficient rubber for our cables using styrene butadiene. So AE2 doesn't really need to know how to make the fluid, it just knows that it should export these items into the chemical reactor. And for doing the next step, we just follow the same thing, you know? Export the raw material. Well, not to bore you to death, I have hooked up the new formula for rubber to the vacuum freezer, and now at every iteration, we get 1 stack of rubber sheets. I had to switch the lapis processing from Tech Reborn to modern industrialization as we need tons of lapis dust. And even though I upgraded all the machines to high voltage, I realized it's really not gonna work because of the cooldown. And no, unfortunately, this recipe doesn't work, gives you blue dye. Therefore, I made a dedicated and independent system for processing salt, lapis, and bauxite so that we get all the byproducts automatically. With all the increased power consumption, I also decided to add more boilers because we need more steam. You might also notice that we're getting tons of garbage into our system, so I improved our storage situation. But before getting into a bit of building, I decided to make a few hundred circuits, the advanced ones. I have been working on the interior of the machine room and I noticed 2 very important things. This stupid thing is massive and we're missing 1 machine, the rest of them are full. I don't know why. Anyways, for the roof I was thinking maybe we use honeycomb blocks, but we don't have any production of honey, but there is a dimension for it. I have to piston myself into a hive? I don't really know how that works. Didn't work. Something worked. Oh, okay. A bit of delay. Oh, this is not honeycomb blocks. This is garbage. Oh, this is honeycomb blocks. Then we're good. Every time you switch dimensions, your engine ring is not gonna work. Where is it? I have never been here. And I don't know what to do. You like the what? Well, we take the blocks. Then we'll think what we should do. Oh, they're angry. Okay, we run away. Oh, we crashed. I have what I need. We're never ever going to go back there again. Ever. Before we progress any further, there is something that I absolutely have to fix, and that is the production of steel. And yes, I have other problems. I'm running out of quartz, but that's not important. I had transferred the production of steel to these blast furnaces, which is now making silicon, but I think I have to transfer it back over here. The problem with steel is that it requires 2 ingredients. I mean, for example, if you want stainless steel ingot, that's not an issue, you just need the dust. But if you want the actual steel ingot, you also need carbon. And I really don't want it to be on auto crafting, I want to use the same system that we have over here. So how many channels do you have? 4. Then I just need some input hatches. The problem is that I'm trying to craft items in bulk, and if the input hatches get full, then it's gonna clog up again. And we don't really want it to happen. So what if we have 2 extra input hatches? Your cyan, and we just export carbon into a separate input hatch. That should work. Obviously with a crafting card. Yes, we're getting carbon. Lovely. The problem is, how do I add it here? You know, I'm not a very picky person. We're gonna cover it anyways. We're just gonna have some cheaty wiring. Okay, so having 4 crafting cards, this is something that I just learned, is kind of garbage because you're going to craft it 4 times, which is not good because it's making my CPUs busy. So instead, here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, something like this should work fine. We're pumping it out independently from the side. I mean, the carbon, I think it should work. The only problem is that I can't distribute the iron equally because the recipe requires 4 iron dust. And if one of them gets less than 4, we're going to have a problem. Well, I think for the moment we just leave it like this and see what happens. It should give us a decent supply of steel anyways. Is it? Yep, it is. It's moving fast, I know. but I saw it. Also, regarding the big turbine, if you guys remember, we had a problem with pumping in steam, and the problem was we couldn't pump it fast enough. Somebody actually left me a comment, which I think it's a very nice one, that instead of exporting the steam, we just use a storage bus. I do have a feeling that is going to be brilliant. Also, we are going to give it a higher priority, just in case. Okay, we got steam. The system might work, but I'm not producing enough steam. That is the problem. But let us see. The energy cell is full. If we add more capacity, yeah, it's still not keeping up. Because the thing is, we're even not producing that much. This is supposed to work with high pressure steam, and we're just using steam. And you might notice that, yeah, there is no way in this universe we can feed it enough steam. Unless we use a garbage energy hatch. Well, garbage does not have to be low voltage. It can be medium voltage. Let's try medium voltage. Maybe it works. Well, steam seems to be sustainable. It's also keeping up, relatively, and power is not that bad. Thank you. That was nice. Not nice. Lovely. When I went mining on episode 1, or I think it was episode 2, I found only one Leshen. And I found him underground, probably under this mountain. But now you might notice that we have a Leshen over there, and we have another one over here. And I kill, I don't know, 1 or 2 of them every night. So I was wondering, why the hell do they spawn so frequently now? Over here, I do have a mega torch, so no other hostile mobs are able to spawn. And these guys are the only exception. And if you're wondering what the hell a Leshen is, you can wear his skull and look incredibly cool and run incredibly fast. Also, Bello. Okay, so last night you saw the previous episode and somebody left me a wonderful comment which is a game changer for me. Another lesson. Hello, stop dropping skulls. Anyways, do you remember these machine upgrades? I used to think that every machine can accept only one of them. And yes, if it's not obvious, I have no idea how modern industrialization works. But apparently some of you know, and he told me you can have more than one and it's gonna work faster. I can add all of it, and it's gonna work super fast. The only issue is that I don't really want the quarries to work that fast because, well, my ore processing won't be able to handle it. And trust me, I don't want to redesign it again. I'm done. But the part where this becomes important is that we would be able to upgrade some of the machines. We do have a machine which is making us the inductor, coil, whatever it is that we need for the circuit. And I should have probably left an access hatch. We go from here. Yes. This one. So what we're going to do is that we're going to have a high voltage turbine. We go to a turbo machine hall and we just add, I don't know, 16 overclockers. On the other side, we also have a machine which is making us copper wires. We need them in the thousands. Yes, this one. It's a very good thing that machines don't explode. We also give you the overclockers. So if I want like 200 coils, how fast are you going to work? Yeah, this is the problem. It still needs to warm up. I don't know. Let's order 5,000 wires. Oh my goodness, this is getting crazy. I love this. It's working so fast, it's invisible to the naked eye. Do you go faster? Yeah, power is not gonna keep up. But this is fine. So generally speaking, if I order, I don't know, 8,000 analog circuit. Oh, we don't have the copper. What? Let's start with 2,000 and see how it goes. Well, I might need to upgrade a few hundred machines. We will see. But this is just amazing. Finally, my processing situation has been solved. A bit, still needs to warm up. Let us have a very small chit chat. Do you see those boilers? Those are advanced boilers and each one of them is making us 1000 EU worth of steam. We have 3 of them which are constantly running, 2 of them are over there, 1 is in the basement and we are generating 3000 EU worth of steam every tick. That is great until you notice some of our weird machines which I have overclocked. For example, if we come here, I had to remove some of the overclocker upgrades because the rest of the base was shutting down, but you might notice this is almost consuming 8% of our total steam production. Just for this one machine, which is electrolyzing lapis. 8% of our total supply is not the worst, but you should remember something very important. If you come to the Hall of Machines, we have 50 more machines here. At least. I'm not really sure, I never counted, but it should be around 50 or 60. Then we also have the quarries, we have ore processing, and we also have oil and the distillation tower. Basically what I'm trying to tell you is that I don't have enough power. At all. I have been checking what to do and apparently steam is not the best option at this very moment, at least not with boilers. Because for example, I need 2 buckets of high pressure steam to go inside the steam turbine to get 16,000 EU out. And I'm going to tell you, there is no way in this universe I can make 2 buckets of it every tick. The other solution would be the diesel generator, the big boy. The boosted diesel, I don't think it's going to be worth it. Let us stick with diesel, which we only need 400 millibuckets per tick in order to operate the large diesel generator at maximum capacity. That is manageable. But there's always a but. There is a better way. A nuclear reactor. We can't craft it yet, not even the diesel generator, but I think this is going to be a far better evolutionary step for us. Just in case you're wondering, this guy makes us a ton of steam, we can put it inside the turbine and get tons of power. So the plan is that we're going to have a central power station, maybe on top of the mountain, and then we're going to use P2P tunnels in order to power our base. for energy, because otherwise in each and every room I have to have a turbine and that doesn't make any sense. Also, the JEI for me personally is not great because I'm not a nuclear scientist, so I have no idea how many neutrons I need. I don't even know if a neutron is good or bad, but I'm guessing we need a certain amount. Also, it doesn't really tell you. I had to read online that as a byproduct we're going to get steam, which is missing in the JEI, as well as deuterium and tritium. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be our plan for the foreseeable future. I don't know, unless you have a better idea. But in any case, we're going to dedicate the next episode to the graveyard. I have like 70 outstanding requests, which I have to dig graves for. I never thought it's going to be that popular. I thought maximum 20 people. But it's not just going to be the graves, it's also going to be the technologies that we were supposed to have over here. This place has been neglected, I don't know, for the past 4 or 5 episodes. We need to work here too. Besides, I think we need to have a very small break from modern industrialization. Too much machines of the same mod is just boring. So hopefully by next episode I would be able to make all the graves that you requested, as well as gathering more resources, because you might have noticed that we were out of copper. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching. We have holes, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.